The weather's beginning to warm up and summer's almost here, and with the change in season comes a change in people's wardrobes. So I figured that this would be the perfect time to review a few of my favorite options for foot health friendly sandals. Let's get into this. I've got 3 different sandals to review with you guys today, and we're going to be judging them according to 6 criteria: weight, flexibility, aesthetics, build quality, fit and overall comfort, and cost. But before we get to all that, I want to introduce the 3 sandals that we're going to be reviewing today. First up is the Aqua Cloud sandal, a fantastic lightweight barefoot style offering from Xero shoes. Now don't be fooled by the minimalist appearance of these. These sandals are packing a bunch of really well thought out design features. These sandals feature an ultra thin 6.5 millimeter sole that transmits a lot of sensory information so that you can really feel the ground underneath your feet when you're walking around in them. It's what Xero Shoes calls their Feel True sole. It's got fantastic traction across the bottom, and despite the thinness of this material, it is so dense and tough that Xero Shoes warranties it for 5,000 miles. Now, the claim to fame of these Aqua Clouds, and the reason they're so comfortable, is this textured foam insert that sits inside of the Feel True sole. It's 3 millimeters thick, and it cushions the foot to the point where it just creates a really nice walking experience. Other nice features of the sandals include this deep heel cup that helps to keep debris out and keeps your feet clean when you're walking around in these. It also helps keep the sandal in alignment with your foot when you're walking around. The sandal features dual adjustment tabs on the inside and outside, so you can really customize the fit to match the shape of your foot. It's got a padded heel strap that's never once irritated me in years of wearing these. And one other really nice feature is this dedicated length of material that sits in between the big toe and the second toe that's separate from the adjustment strap. So when you tense either one of these 2 straps, it pulls this main piece of material, but this length remains the same no matter what. So you're never going to get irritation between your big toe and your second toe because this is tugging too tightly against that really sensitive spot. Next up are the Primal sandals from Earth Runners, another barefoot minimalist style design, but with a couple of features that make these truly unique in the footwear industry. The Primal sandals from Earth Runner really live up to their name. This is about as basic and primitive a sandal design as you're ever going to find. They feature a 7.5 millimeter sole that's made up of dense EVA foam. It has fantastic traction across the entire bottom, and other than that, it's just a single piece of high-quality nylon webbing that runs from the plug up front through holes on the inside and outside edges, and it attaches here using this very simple tensioning device on the lateral edge of the foot. Now, the good news about that is that it's quick and easy to adjust, to put on and take off. The bad news is that you can't really fine-tune the fit to match the shape of your foot. But the claim to fame on these sandals is this: the copper earthing plug where the front lace inserts in between the big toe, and this very unique stainless steel thread that they use. And so what these sandals claim to do is transmit the electrical current that exists in the Earth's natural surfaces into your body via that copper plug and that stainless steel thread. So they're entirely based around the concept of earthing, and I do think that there's some value there. And finally, we have the ultra lightweight Z-Trail Sport with Naboso technology from Xero Shoes. These sandals were designed and built with walking and hiking in mind. The design of these sandals is quite a bit more complex and involved than the other 2 sandals that we've spoken about so far, starting off with a sole that's about the same thickness as the Primal sandals from Earth Runners, but made up of 3 separate and distinct materials. The outermost layer is that same true sole material that's highly dense, highly durable, and warranted by Xero Shoes for 5,000 miles. It provides traction, as you can see here, and most importantly, abrasion resistance, so that nothing sharp ever gets through and harms your feet. The middle layer that you can see here in gray is what Xero Shoes calls their trail foam. It provides shock absorption, another layer of protection, and as you can see here, I've had these for 2 years. Over time, it will actually mold in the heel and the forefoot to match the shape of your foot. And then the uppermost layer is patented technology from a company called Neboso. It's a textured surface that's designed to provide sensory stimulation to your feet with every step that you take, and it really works. It also increases circulation, and it feels really, really good. It's like an invigorating sensation while you're walking around in these. Now that you're familiar with all these sandals, let's talk about how much they weigh. First up, we have the Aqua Cloud sandal from Xero shoes. These weigh in at 6.39 ounces. Next, we have the Z Trail with Neboso technology from Xero shoes. These weigh in at just over 6 ounces, 6.01 to be precise. And finally, the Primal sandal from Earth Runner. These weigh in at 6.08 ounces. Next, we'll check the flexibility of each of these sandals. When it comes to flexibility, there's a clear-cut winner among these three sandals, and honestly, it's not even close. The Xero shoes Aqua Cloud with its 6.5mm sole is by far the most flexible of the three sandals. It just bends effortlessly in every direction. In second place is the Primal sandal from Earth Runners, which is still highly flexible, just not quite as much as the Aqua Cloud. And finally, we have the Z Trail sandal from Xero shoes, which not surprisingly is the least flexible of these three. Now don't get me wrong, it's still pretty darn flexible from front to back, but it's got thick rubber inserts at the forefoot, the toe, and the heel, which definitely make this sandal a little bit more rigid and resistant to side-to-side flexibility like you can see here. But considering that this sandal is designed for more strenuous activities like hiking, the protection that's provided from those thick rubber inserts is a welcome trade-off to just a bit more stiffness. So, purpose-built design, still highly flexible. With regard to styling, none of the three sandals here have a lot going on. They're all very basic designs, very minimalist, not a lot of fluff at all, but I'd have to give first place to these Primal sandals from Earth Runners. It's just a super clean traditional design, one single lace that spirals around the foot for a very nice look. This company, Earth Runners, also has by far the most options available for different colors and styles for the laces that they offer. Second place in the styling category, I'm going to give to the Z Trail sandals from Xero shoes. It's a super clean, ultra modern design. All the straps are retained, really nice hardware throughout. Super, super clean and very well put together. And to my eye, and that's all we're talking about here, third place in the style department is going to go to the Xero shoes Aqua Cloud sandals. It's a non-traditional design, very airy, just some simple paracord straps and one retainer strap that runs around the back. Very, very basic. But I don't care for the way that these two tabs stick out off the back. It's just a slightly less put together look than the other two sandals offer. The build quality on both of the Xero sandals, the Aqua Cloud and the Z Trail Sport, is absolutely fantastic. Really good attention to detail. Take a look at where the two different materials come together. It's perfectly seamless throughout. Padded heel strap, they're making sure that you're comfortable while you're wearing these. Dual adjustment tabs, dedicated length in between the toe, really nice plug so that this is never going to get pulled through on the back side, and then these rounded edges here where it sweeps up nice and smooth. They could have done a 90-degree angle, but it would have been uncomfortable. This is really, really well done. Like I said earlier, the heel cup is a really nice touch. And with the Z Trail Sport sandal, you see exactly the same thing, beginning with an ultra-precise cut around the edges of these sandals, and the way that they've seamlessly blended three materials into the phenomenal soles that they created here. They also used soft, super comfortable tubular webbing so that there's no hard edges anywhere, and the thinnest hardware you've ever seen, keeping these things ultra light and making sure that there's nothing to rub against your foot, even when you're wearing these for extended periods of time while walking or hiking. The build quality of the Primal sandals from Earth Runner, on the other hand, leaves a little bit to be desired, beginning with the rough cut that they did around the edge of these sandals. You can see when looking at this material that no attempt was made to smooth that out and give it a more finished look. It almost looks like somebody just went in and cut out a bunch of these molds out of a big sheet of EVA foam using a giant pair of scissors or something, but this just doesn't look like it's complete. Also, where they put the plug in, they removed a bunch of material and no attempt was made to fill that area in. Now, I don't know if that's going to affect the durability of these sandals, but it sure doesn't look very good. And then on the back, what holds the laces in place is that they punch directly through the bottoms of the soles, which definitely holds them in place, but it means that you're stomping around and rubbing the lacing system against the ground with every step that you take. And I noticed when I'm filming this that one of the stainless steel threads has actually been broken through, and I've only been wearing these for 2 months. So a few issues with the Primals that I'd like to see corrected. Walking around in the Aqua Clouds from Xero shoes is a really nice experience. They are so light and so airy. It's the closest that you can get to being barefoot while still having protection underneath your feet. There's really not enough good things that I can say about the Z-Trail Sport Sandal with Naboso technology. They've got a phenomenal lacing system, super secure. It really allows you to fine-tune the fit of this sandal to match the shape of your foot. They provide a ton of protection, and because of that unique texture that they're using, you get this invigorating sensation through your feet with every single step that you take. So needless to say, anytime that I'm going for a long walk or a hike in hot weather, these are the sandals that I reach for. Despite the many things that there are to like about the Earthrunner Primals, there are two things about these sandals that have irritated me to the point that I literally never reach for these anymore when I'm headed out of the house. And both of those have to do with their lacing system. So if you look closely here, you can see that that front strap inserts and is held at a 40 or a 45 degree angle like this. And that angle makes it so that the thin inside edge of this nylon webbing really digs into the sensitive skin right here at the base of the big toe where it meets up with the second toe. And I can tell you that when you've been walking around in these for a while, when you start building up some heat and some friction in that spot, it is super uncomfortable. And God help you if you've got sweaty feet or if you step into a puddle and that skin gets a little bit soft, because you could really damage yourself if you went too far with that kind of friction in place. The other thing that I don't like about this 45 degree angle is that it tends to pull your foot, or my foot at least, out of alignment with the sandal. So when I've been walking around in these for a while, I find that my foot is pointing in a different direction than the sandal is pointing, and it tends to externally rotate like this. So much so that the inner edge of my heel will sometimes hang off of the inner edge of the sandal. And it's more bothersome than anything else, but it's something that I really just don't care for, and because of that, I end up reaching for other sandals. And finally, as far as pricing goes, the Aqua Cloud sandals from Xero shoes cost $50, the Primal sandals from Earthrunners cost $68, and the Z-Trail Sport sandals with Naboso technology cost $110. As you can see, there are quite a few healthy, high-quality options out there for keeping your feet cool and comfortable this summer. Ultimately, I think it comes down to individual preferences in terms of aesthetics and what you plan on doing activity-wise when wearing your sandals. If you want more information about any of the sandals that I talked about in this video, I'll put links for all of those in the description down below. Make sure to check those out. But before you head out of here, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so that you're updated every time a new video is released. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.